Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. And today we're going to be talking about a 2004 comedy slash horror movie, Shaun of the Dead, directed by Edgar Wright, written by Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg, starring Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Kate Ashfield, Lucy David, Dylan Moran, and Bill Nye, not the science guy. I want to be close. My name is Robbie, and alongside me is the cousin Benny. How you feeling?
I got wood.
Nice.
And alongside us, another one of our co-hosts and a good friend of ours, Ryan. How's it hanging?
It's hanging. Thanks for the introduction, you slice of fried gold. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, this is Let the Boys Watch, and like Robbie said, we're going to be talking about Shaun of the Dead, a zom-com, as some people might call it. And I believe this week both Benny and Robbie have not seen it. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh,
You're
I'm
correct.
excited.
Yep.
I'm excited to hear about it. So what we normally do here is watch, I would say, probably fairly popular movies from the past, whatever, typically in our lifetimes, but oftentimes either one or all of us haven't seen it for whatever reason. So please, if you have some suggestions, send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. It'll be in the show notes. If you want to comment on what we talked about today or any of our other episodes, please also send us an email. We actually got one today, which is awesome. We'll read that in just a little bit, but also follow us at Let the Boys Watch Pod on Instagram. Put a lot of cool posts. Every Friday we have a vote to decide on what movie we're going to watch. So follow us there, interact with us, send us a DM there. That works too. If you're too lazy to open your email client, that works. So before we get into our regularly scheduled programming and talk about the movie, like I said, we got one email and we got one person that didn't email us, even though he promised. I have the receipts in our DMs. Robbie, what's going on with your brother-in-law? What's happening? Oh, you can't hear?
You can't hear us.
Shit.
Can't
All right,
hear
well, you fix that. I'll just say, Brian, what the fuck, man? You promised me you'd send us an email. Come on.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
We're gonna beat the shit out of you to a Queen song.
Yeah. Don't stop me. Although for us to get the pool cues, get some leverage, we'd have to like stand on ladders, I think. Because he's
he's a big boy. I think we need to pause.
Yeah, all right. Hold on. And we're back. Couple technical difficulties.
Yeah, Robbie got pissed off at Brian and completely walked out of the room. Are you okay now?
He got so mad.
Yeah, I just had to put a bandage on my head because I slammed my skull against the door because I can't. I was so pissed that we were expecting an email from him, and he was probably watching YouTube videos on how to golf. So that's what he forgot about us.
What is this guy doing with his time? Does he have like kids and stuff he's got to deal with?
I don't think so. I think Michelle just takes the kids and he just like, he'll do the dishwasher, he'll do the roof and maybe some mulch he'll lay down.
He's a busy guy.
Can't believe it.
Well, we did get one email, which is awesome. Benny, would you like to read it?
Sure. The subject is, who the hell put this on? It's on random. I'm going to read the whole email in an English accent.
I love it.
No, I'm not. Hello, boys. I love Edgar Wright movies, and I love a good zombie movie. So I was thrilled to rewatch this week's pick, and I'm waiting with bated breath for Benny's score on this zom-com class. Actually, use your word there, Ryan.
There you go.
There was a period during a lockdown where I subjected Benny to an undead movie marathon, and I missed adding this one before he got zombied out. I probably have to rewatch The World's End, but Shaun of the Dead might have edged it out as my favorite from the Wright Pegg Three Flavors Cornetto Trilogy. This movie did not waste a second of screen time. Everything from the visual gags to the dialogue to the pacing was so deliberate and well executed. And it gives us the first tastes of the stylistic and musical sensibilities of Wright, evident in the Queen Don't Stop Me Now sequence. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on this film. Aya. Thanks, Aya. I'd like to meet this Aya. She's a very good friend of the show.
Yeah, seems nice.
It'd be nice to meet her.
Yeah. I heard she's good. She's good at getting a reservation.
Some would say.
Some would say the queen of it.
Well, the first lady.
Have you guys seen all three of the movies? Well, obviously Robbie hasn't. Ryan, have you?
Yes, and I wanted to comment on that. Like, I love this movie, but I actually think Hot Fuzz is my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy. So for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about or what I was talking about, there's three movies that make the quote unquote Cornetto trilogy, and the Cornetto is that ice cream that Ed eats when he's hungover. So this movie, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then At World's End are the Cornetto trilogy, the Blood and Ice Cream trilogy, or whatever you want to call it. But I think Hot Fuzz is my favorite, and I hope maybe someday that we do that or do another maybe Edgar Wright week or something like that, because I love all of his movies. So
we put Hot Fuzz up in one of the polls, didn't we?
We did at one point. I forget what it lost to, but some other powerhouse. I was a little upset that week.
Couldn't tell. You're such a pro.
Yeah, right. But no, how many movies did you have to watch during Zombie Week?
We watched World War Z.
Okay.
We watched Zombieland. I think we watched Zombieland the second. And maybe one or two others. Nothing like none. Excuse me, none of the old
like no
Dawn
classic,
of the Dead,
Day of the Dead, that kind of stuff.
None of that stuff. But which is surprising that Aya likes zombie movies, because she is a huge P word when it comes to scary movies. And even if you just like mention ghosts around her, she's probably freaking out now that I just said ghosts.
Really?
But the whole time we were watching Shining, she kept like putting her hand over her face at certain parts, and I'm like, stop doing that. You're spoiling the movie. Like, now I know something's definitely happening right now. So she it's interesting to me that she likes the zombie movies, but not so much she doesn't like scary movies as a whole.
Interesting. It's kind of like what Robbie was talking about last week, how like real life possibilities are scarier than like something like this, zombies, which is most likely never going to happen. I guess maybe it's possible, but maybe she gets scared at that stuff, but not zombies are so out of this world that she doesn't care.
Yeah. The one thing, I cover your ears. The one thing that scares her the most or freaked her out the most. Have you seen Parasite, Ryan?
Yeah.
Robbie, you've seen Parasite, right?
I have, yeah.
You remember that one scene where it's just the kitchen? Like, it's like nighttime and you just see the kitchen, and then you just see the dude's two eyes popping up from the stairs. Like, that freaked her the fuck out. So like every now and then, because I'm a real asshole, I would like pull up that picture on my phone and just slowly show it to her. And then I'm in the doghouse for like 20-30 minutes. So
Benny, do you get scared with like scary movies?
no, I just get scared of like thinking I have cancer every minute of the day. Anytime I like get a hangnail, I'm like, oh fuck, cancer, I'm dead now.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good at like, if it's on screen, like it's a movie, like it's not, it's not real.
Yeah.
I can get jump scared a bit sometimes.
Yeah, same.
But that it doesn't like, I'm just like, oh fuck, I should have seen that coming. The classic shut the mirror and the dude's behind you, that one gets me every once in a while. But I don't get like scared. I'm never gonna have like bad dreams over anything.
Nice. Robbie, what about you?
I'm a big boy.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I get scared sometimes. It's more like the psychological stuff or the jump scares, like Benny said, close the closet door and somebody's right behind you. The Parasite shit scared me because it's like things that can happen. Like I'm not going to worry about, a zombie in my room, because I don't think it's going to happen, but you could definitely worry about, a fucking stalker in your house or a home invasion. So that shit is scary. So those things scare me more than a Freddy or a Jason. But I still will, sleep with the light on when I watch those movies. So it
You
doesn't
still have
matter.
it. You still have a nightlight.
I have a nightlight next to my Ghostbuster phone, so everything's okay.
We got one every time the phone rings. Um, so I'm super curious now. What did you guys think about this movie, if anything, before you watched it? I don't know if you had heard anything about it. I know, Robbie, Benny, I don't know about you, but I know Robbie, you do like Edgar Wright, like Baby Driver and some of his other movies.
Please.
Well, yeah, Robbie, why don't you start? Did you know anything about this movie at all, or were you looking forward to watching it?
Well, right now I'm looking forward to launching my computer through the fucking window. That's what I'm looking forward to right now. Um, Other than that, like I said previously on this podcast and other podcasts, I love Baby Driver. Anytime you incorporate music so well into a movie, I'm all in. And action. I love that movie. I haven't seen a lot of Edgar Wright stuff, so I was excited to see this movie. I didn't know too much about it. Obviously, you hear things about zombie. It's like a zombie movie. Um, but yeah, I was excited to watch it. Um, I need a little comedy in my life after The Shining, all that crazy shit about watching that movie. So I was definitely excited to watch it. And like, you know, everybody who listens to the millions and millions of fans who listen to this podcast knows that we love, 90 minutes in a 90-minute movie. I think you get so much, more from a 90-minute movie than anything else. So I was 100% down for that. Just fast paced action. So yeah, I was excited to see it because I do love me some Edgar Wright and
Nice.
some British humor as well.
Oh, for sure. Benny?
Yeah, I was excited to watch this one. I feel like there was a lot of hype around it for me, at least from people that I know. Pretty sure it's my first Edgar Wright movie. I thought it was about Ed Norton getting bit by a dog, and that started the zombie apocalypse. No, I mean, I really had no idea what the actual story was. Like, obviously zombies, but besides that, I didn't know. So yeah, I was excited for it. Like Robbie said, it was excited for a nice, quick 1 hour 30-minute movie, and to get into the Edgar Wright universe. I did want to watch Baby Driver a couple weeks ago, whenever that came up, but this was a nice little consolation.
Yeah, we'll definitely do an Edgar Wright week and get some more in there because, besides Baby Driver, of course, there's the other Cornetto trilogy. There's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was one of my favorites as well. And he's got a ton coming out. I think Baby Driver 2 is actually in production or in the process of being made. So that's big news for Robbie, I think.
Oh my God. And even bigger news. Hopefully they bring back Kevin Spacey.
We'll see about that. So should we jump to some overall impressions and plum ratings?
Let's do it.
All right. Does anyone want to start?
Robbie?
Yeah, sure. So like I said, hour and a half, hour 40, right? My time, my wheelhouse. The thing I loved about this movie the most, and I had my notes, and now I'm just going, straight off the memorization, hopefully. But the pacing was great. The incorporation, of some musical numbers, great as well. My favorite things, I don't know, about this movie was in the beginning when you knew something was going on, but Shaun had no idea about the world around him. He was just all in a daze and all about himself, basically. So he's walking the streets and there's a fucking zombie here and there. I just love that. I thought the humor was great. I thought him and Ed played well off each other. Uh, you know, I thought it was a very, very well done, well made movie. The action was great. The direction was fantastic. I love the way it was written. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like when the direction, like things like when he was like when it jumps to him just like grabbing the knob or whatever it was of like the sliding, gate.
The
things
gate,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, how like things like that I really enjoyed. And just like I said, I'm a big humor guy. And I thought this movie, I laughed out loud a lot of times in this movie. I thought it was
Nice.
great. So I definitely enjoyed it. Like I said, Edgar Wright, music, all that crap I love. Um, yeah, I was going around with the score. I didn't know what it was, but I'm gonna give it an 8.6.
Oh,
I thought it was as far as like comedy and like how to judge my comedies, you know, different than my dramas and things like that. This had my attention from the beginning, and it had my attention all the way through. The humor, the direction, the acting, and how well it was written. It was great.
nice. Benny, you want to
Ryan,
go?
why don't you go?
All right. I mean, I gotta agree with a lot of things that Robbie said. The reasons why I very much love this movie. So much of it is intentional. If you really kind of pay attention to like things that they say or do in the beginning, it shows up again at the end, or there's tons of foreshadowing. Like even as an example, when Ed is talking to Shaun after Liz breaks up with him, everything he says that they're going to do the next day, you could see as what actually happens. Like get a Bloody Mary. There's a Bloody Mary in their garden, the first, in the first zombie, and like get a bite at the king's head. Philip is the king in the movie, and he gets bitten, etc., etc. Um, I like I said before, I think as far as Edgar Wright movies, it's not my favorite, but it's up there for sure. And one thing that I think would make me like it more is if I caught all of the references, because really what this is like a parody of zombie movies and scary movies, just like so. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what the other movies are because we might watch them, but um, it's like I didn't catch a lot of the references. I had to read about them after, like, oh, this references Day of the Dead. There's a couple I caught, like maybe subtle references about like Evil Dead or Resident Evil or things like that. But um, it just feels like one big in joke. Even like I said it before, Slice of Fried Gold. That's from a TV show that they did a couple years prior called Spaced, which I have never watched, but I should. Um, but yeah, I really really like this. I'm not a huge fan of horror movies, just in general. Like they don't scare me necessarily. I just don't typically love them. But throw some humor in there, some action, like Robbie said, good music and direction. I'm all in. So I give this a 9.1. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I
Nice.
really like this movie. And based on that score, you can tell what I would rate Hot Fuzz. Certainly higher than that. I fucking love Hot Fuzz.
Wow.
Like I see this movie and it's so good, but it's one of his first, films. He did a couple things prior to this, but it's almost like, what, you get a new job and you're starting out and you might do it really well, but a couple years down the road, you kind of do it again, and it's just so much more polished and so much better. And that doesn't, I guess, maybe make it more likable. But for me, like this was like they did it really well, but they improved upon it in the next one with Hot Fuzz. So I really do hope we get to watch that. But yeah, 9.1 for me. I love Shaun of the Dead.
Real quick, I just want to say something. Yeah, so like stylistically, like watching this movie, it brought me back. Like when Sean's walking the streets, it brought me back to like Baby Driver. I'm like, he's obviously using some of the shots he used when Baby was like walking the streets and doing things like that. And I was like, I just completely, love those scenes in both these movies. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I love he does so many things deliberately and incorporates, like you said, Robbie, music and also sounds. Not just necessarily music, but sounds as well. And like the way he does the shots, like you said, with the gate or like just stuff like that is just so cool. I really like his movies a lot.
Mm.
Benny.
So I felt like watching this movie, it did better the more I thought about it. It you saw all the attention that was put into everything. I don't know why this was one of the movies I really decided to like pay attention to every single thing that was said, because like you mentioned, Ryan, everything comes back. Every little thing that they say, there's like a mirror image of it later in the movie. Like the last thing Ed says to what's his name? Pete?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
roommate.
Pete. Yeah, before he goes to bed that night for the last time, he's like, "Next time I see you, you're dead." And I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, keep that in
Yep.
your head."
Yep.
And just like all those little things, I loved about the movie. You mentioned, Robbie, the tracking shots, the one shots, the one takes of him walking, and then you get the mirror image of that. Everybody that pops up in the movie in some way comes back as a zombie in another way. So I really love that. I love humor that you really need to be paying attention to what they're saying, or stuff that's just like throwaway lines, like the punchline's not like and it's like in your face. It's like they just may say something kind of under their breath, or just a small reaction to what's going on, or those are the kinds of things that I like. And it's expecting you not to be smart, but to like, they don't have to feed you everything with a spoon. So I really appreciate that. um like you both mentioned, it was just really tight. It was moving. The story was always moving forward. It made me really interested to watch more Edgar Wright movies. I love one. Well, I won't. I will save that for my favorite scenes. But yeah, just super impressed by it. Again, made me interested in the Cornetto trilogy. Made me interested in Baby Driver even more now, and whatever else he has coming. So I'll go with an 8.3 on this one. I just want to leave it. I want to leave the Edgar Wright movies a little room to like breathe, because I want to see what else he has to offer. And while I thought it was really good, you could definitely kind of tell between him and Simon Pegg, like this is kind of their jumping off point, and I kind of want to see where they go from here.
Yep. 100%.
One thing I did love also, little like scenes, was when like something like everybody's turned into a zombie now and something's going on, something's going on, but Shaun doesn't really know what's going on, and he's flicking the channels.
Yeah.
And every time he's flicking the channel, the words, it's basically laying it out. Like every station he goes to is just following what happened in the previous station, like the words, and it's following out about like just a zombie attack or something like that. And I just, those little subtle things are just like these little things. I'm like, that was like genius. I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, agreed. Like I said, I mean, I read too that there was, in a comedy, you kind of expect a lot of improv from the people, but there was no real room for that in this, because the script was so tightly written and everything came back at a different time in the movie, that like this was pretty much the script that was on the page is what you got in the movie.
Yeah. Agree. I love when movies do callbacks, or like similar to what Big Lebowski did with people, other characters would say words to him and he would repeat it, mostly not in the correct way.
Yeah.
But they did that with Liz saying exacerbate to Shaun, and then Shaun used it,
Yeah.
and then Ed didn't use it. It was like just little things like that are so good, because it makes repeat viewings enjoyable, and it makes like paying attention enjoyable. Like, of course, you can still enjoy this without like nitpicking every little thing or putting it under a microscope. But yeah, I love when filmmakers do that stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely something that I have interest in watching again, just to pick up on little things that I had missed.
Yeah. So is from her email earlier, is this Aya's like favorite Edgar Wright / favorite like zombie type movie, or do we
We
know?
didn't we don't really go into it until after the episode comes out, so I'll be interested to see, kind of where she lands with all that stuff.
All right, I'm interested too. Send us another email, Aya.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
And Brian, send us one.
Okay.
Well, the guy's a fancy boy now. He's an elitist now. So
Jets win a couple games. He's acts like he's got better things to do with his time.
yeah, he golfs at like a prestigious country club, and now he's fucking Tiger Woods.
Oh my goodness. All right. Do you guys want to do scenes first or characters first?
What do we usually do? I know I flipped it on
We
its head last
usually
week.
do characters first, but last week we flipped it. But whatever you want to do.
I'm down for going back to tradition.
All right. Why don't we do favorite characters first? And I think we should let Robbie go first because I don't like when people steal his thunder.
Me neither.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, well, again, if you know me, you know multitude weeks of listening, hopefully, you know that I love a redemption arc, a redemption story. Um, I can easily go with Shaun. I love Shaun in this movie. Obviously, the movie, he's the lead in this movie. He's a star in this movie. He goes through various different emotions. But I'm gonna have to go with my main man, Ed, who was a little fuck up from the beginning, but really, at the end, proved his worth. Some of the shit that he did in this movie was hilarious. Like at the bar scene when they're trying to get into the bar and they're just telling everybody to be quiet, and he just answers his phone and has a
Full blown
and just has a
conversation.
full-blown conversation. But yeah, yeah, I figured something was gonna happen like that. I didn't think he was gonna, spoiler, get bitten. That really tugged at the heartstrings. But I just enjoyed his character arc. Had the fuck up on the couch, not really doing anything. But in the end, him and Shaun do save the day, and he does have a nice little redemption. And at least he gets to smoke one last cig on the way out. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, Ed, you're my favorite character. I don't know if I've ever seen anything else that guy's in. I don't know.
Oh, Nick Frost.
Yeah,
He's in a
except for
He's in
ton.
a
I
lot of
mean,
these movies.
yeah, he's in these. He's in some other stuff too. But yeah, he definitely hangs around with Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright.
I read that this was one of Nick Frost's like first acting roles. I think Simon Pegg like met him as a waiter, and he like they just hit it off and like became really close friends. And when
Mm-hmm.
they made the movie, Simon Pegg asked him to be in it.
Nice. Yeah, he's in a ton of shit. I mean, he does a lot of voice work as well. So good for him. I like Nick Frost a lot. He's funny. Um,
Let me go next here because I want to
please.
leave chalk on the board for Ryan, and I
You
want to
don't
make
have to leave
sure.
chalk. You take whoever you want.
No, I want to, but I want to make sure someone gets picked. And if I leave them on the table, I know you're going to take them.
Okay.
I'm going to show love to Lucy Davis as Diane in this
Nice.
movie. I
Okay.
liked her character. I like how she was um, kind of had a positive outlook on everything. Like even though knowing that her dickhead boyfriend was still in love with her friend, she she still enjoyed their relationship and loved him straight to the end, even when he's being a fucking asshole. She went out after him. She had a lot of funny lines in the movie. She, I don't want to say ditzy, but she kind of played that innocent, naive person in this whole situation, and it just made for like it's hard to say comic relief because this movie is comedy, but she lightened up a lot of things, and I just thought she was really good in this movie. So I wanted to show Diane some love.
Nice. Good choice. You really fucked me up. I thought that was the left field.
Really?
Yeah, kind of. I was actually preparing to take someone who I'll give my honorary mention to, but someone has to pick Shaun. So I'm gonna pick Shaun. Of course, I mean I love Simon Pegg. In most things he's in. And he was great in this movie. Just Robbie, you mentioned like redemption arcs. Like Shaun kind of has one of his own, where he's just kind of like while Ed is a complete fuck up, like so is Shaun. He's just bumbling around. He's working at a store. He doesn't see his mom enough. He takes his girlfriend to the same garbage pub every night instead of the place with all the fish. Um, and but by the end, maybe he's still a fuck up. We don't know, but he definitely like saved his girlfriend. Everyone else died, but he tried to do something. He did it. Became a leader, and we're assuming he probably ended up okay. I mean, it looks like they are living together and having a good time. He's got Ed in the shed.
I
Which
feel like too, you don't necessarily know that he like changed his life around as much as Liz like kind of came down to his level and she's like, you know what? After all we've been
Fuck
through,
it.
I don't mind just fucking
Yeah.
chilling,
Yeah.
going to the pub every day. Like
Yep.
that's just how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'll go Shaun again. I love Simon Pegg. I just like how he like says things. I don't know what it is. But yeah, Simon Pegg. Anyone have any Ani Menches they want to talk about?
Just trying to find the name here. I'll go. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go with Mama Shaun because I can't find. Barbara was her name.
Barbara.
Yeah, I'll go Barbara. She
We're
was
coming to get you,
again.
Barbara.
Again, she was. I love the aloofness. I love the she's out in left field kind of thing with everything going on. But she has that sweet moment at the end where she gets the flowers, and I just liked her character. She was good.
She's good.
Supposedly they asked, fuck, what's her name? I'm all over the place today, but they asked like a super famous, Helen Mirren. They asked
Oh,
to
really?
take that role. Yeah.
Wow.
And she said she didn't want to do it. She wanted to play more funny characters than that.
Okay. Her loss. Robbie, you have any Ani Menches?
I don't know her name, but the girl who I was hoping Shaun would end up with after he told his
Oh,
ex-girlfriend to go
Yvonne?
fuck off, Yvonne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed her. I was hoping that they got together because I was hoping Shaun just like I said told Liz to go scratch. Um, you know, if you don't like me at my laziness, don't take me at my hero zombie killing machine. So yeah, so I'll go with Yvonne. I thought she was great too.
And I think she says like basically everyone's gone. So Martin Freeman dead. So Declan's not around.
Yep.
Like all those like it was almost like Bizarro
I know. I
Seinfeld.
loved it when they walked
Yeah.
past each other.
Yeah, yeah. They're all like all those people are people from shows and whatever. And fun fact for any British Bake Off fans is the last one was the host from last year, who I
Get the
hated.
hell out of here.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, he was
Uh,
in Bridesmaids too.
yes, and I think he's like married to someone famous too. I don't know.
That ugly bastard.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe I am thinking of someone else. Never mind. But yeah, I don't like him, but it was still funny that he popped up.
Shout out Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Yeah, he was showed up.
What Zombied? What was it? Was it Zombied? What did concert day
Zombie.
with Zombied?
I forget who it is, but I read that there's a connection there. Like someone's girlfriend played in a band with Chris Martin, and they actually used some of those songs. Not obviously not Coldplay, but like his first band or an earlier band. Um, I don't remember whose girlfriend it was, but someone on the film, maybe Edgar Wright or Simon Pegg, one of them.
He showed Chris Martin showed up as a zombie at one point too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I want to give one last Ani Mensch to Bill Nye, who I absolutely love him in a number of other movies that he's in, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or I think it's called About Time, which is such a sappy romantic movie, but I love it. I don't care. But he's such a dick, but by the end, he's like you kind of realize like what he was doing. And that whole speech got me in the feels a little bit yesterday, and it never had before. Maybe because I have a kid now or something. I have no idea, but I definitely was like, oh, Philip with the feels right now in the back of the Jag. All right, should we do some least favorite characters?
I think we have to. We're contractually obligated to.
We are in our contract with all our many sponsors. All right, well, snake draft. I get to go first. Fuck David.
Ah,
Stupid fucking face.
You dick.
that's why I didn't want to go. That's why I should have not went first and last.
Yeah, you should have thought of that, my
Oh,
friend. You can pick them too. Those rules don't apply anymore, I don't think. But you fuck David, that little
David
fuck.
stunk.
He stunk. He was such a little pacifist pussy, um, or p word. I'm sorry, and he just stunk. I'm glad he fucking got torn to shreds at the end. But that whole thing, he was gonna kill. It's funny, like we talked about before, all the things that connect, and they say kill the queen to David, and he's the one who is trying to kill the queen, who is Barbara later, which whatever. But yeah, fuck him. I hated his guts, and I'm sorry I stole it from the rest of you.
Okay.
I mean, come on, it was
The obvious.
yeah. I mean, if you that we would have had a Sam Bowie situation on our hand if you let that go down to number two.
That's true.
I'll go with I don't know his name. I was furiously looking for it here while you were talking, but in the Bizarro situation, give me Bizarro Ed as my least favorite character because there's only one.
That's
There's
him.
only yeah,
Cousin
that's
Tom.
him, cousin Tom.
That's the one I was mentioning before.
Only room for one colossal fuck up in this movie, and that's Ed. I don't want anybody else. I hope he was the first to go in their friend group, staring down at his phone. He couldn't even acknowledge the one true God, Ed, as he walked past him. So fuck off, cousin Tom, you piece of shit.
Yeah, Matt Lucas is his name, but yeah, Cousin Tom in the movie.
Come on the show if you hear this.
Please tell me why. Tell me why you sucked on Great British Bake Off.
That would be funny. Of all the people we've shit on this podcast in 21 weeks or whatever, he's the one that actually hears it.
I would love it. Get the in the biz they call that a good get.
Oh my God.
I'll take it.
I can't find his name, but the dick in the fake Circuit City store that Shaun worked with, he was
Oh
giving him
yeah,
shit in the beginning. While it was funny and I did love it, I mean, there's only really one shitty character you can hate in this movie, and that's Dave and Bizarro David as well. But yeah, give me that guy. He was, don't be a dick to Shaun. Shaun's just fucking trying to go about his day. He doesn't want to be there as well. Don't be an asshole to him. You're a young kid, but you're on the same path to nowhereness. So leave Shaun alone.
See, I thought I left some chalk on the board for you too, Robbie, with Peter.
yeah.
Pete was a dick.
I liked Pete.
You liked him? I guess
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
liked
if you got to deal with those two fuckheads all day.
Oh
you'd
man,
be pissed
yeah,
off too.
I'd be yelling at them too.
No, and like you said, like the callbacks, like Pete getting mad about them leaving the fucking door open, and they leave the door open, and Tuxedo Zombie guy comes in.
Yep.
Oh.
And
my
I
God, he's
used
got one
to
arm.
go ahead. Sorry,
No, what they say is like, oh my God, he's got one arm.
that guy really only has one arm.
Really?
Yeah, in
Perfect
real
use
life.
for him.
That's it.
Yeah. I used to, when I consider myself a bit more of a fuck up in life, I used to constantly tell myself, sort my fucking life out, mate. Like he tells and because I would just be like, I need to fucking sort my life out. Any other Ani mentions from anybody?
It's such a short cast. It's hard to.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Maybe the kid just kicking a soccer ball and hitting Shaun.
What a
Yeah,
dick.
football.
Yeah.
He said to him, "You're dead," and then the next time he saw him, he was dead.
Good. Later.
Yeah, fuck him. I'm trying to figure out who this guy is because I believe that was in this movie. He was also in The Big Short, but I can't figure out which one he is. All right, whatever. Anyway,
Jeremy Strong.
yes, just chewing gum with jaws of steel. All right, let's do scenes. Anyone want to start first with their least favorite scene?
I can go, I guess.
If you want.
Um, My least favorite scene is I didn't have a lot of least favorite scenes. Obviously,
Yeah.
I didn't think any scene was bad. So I'm gonna have to go with when Sean's mom gets bit and she dies. That was a little touching scene. Like I thought Simon Pegg was good in this movie. I just I just think that he showed so many, different emotions in this movie. Mad, sad, you know, fucking scared, you know, all over the place. I don't know what he was. He just had a lot of, emotions, and I thought he played them all well. But yeah, this was tough. Obviously, he loved his mom. She gets bit, and then he winds up not wanting to shoot her, but he has to at the end. So I thought it was definitely a my least favorite scene because of his mom had to die. So that was really, other than that, I really enjoyed every single scene that was in this movie.
It's upsetting. Benny, you want to go? Or you want me to?
You can go.
All right. My least favorite scene is probably a very unpopular choice because I think it might be a lot of people's not favorite scene, but they very much enjoy it. I really hate the scene where they're hitting the club owner with the pool cues and the songs playing. The way that they circle around him and lightly tap him, and I realize why they're doing it, but it just bothers me. I don't know why. It's like, just
Fair.
fucking hit him. Come on. Zombie.
My least favorite scene was Ed getting chewed out by Pete because come on,
Yeah.
man, just leave him alone. He's there's something wrong with him. Obviously, maybe he's a little slow and he's not the smartest guy in the world, but you don't really need to lace into him like that. It felt a little extra. Felt like he's got some other problems going on in his life, and he's taking him out on poor Ed. So let the man chill. Let the boy watch some TV. Let the boy
That's
play
right.
some games.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's hard for me because if there was a bad scene in this movie, it would have been taken already. It was just so tight.
Yeah.
There's nothing really you could say that's bad. So I'll just go with my man Ed getting shit on by Pete.
That was
Yeah,
tough. Well, he did have a migraine, so maybe that's why.
Don't take it out on other people.
hence, some might say let the boy fart as well.
I'm
sorry.
You know, it's what the one thing I picked up on this watch from Ed that I never did before is probably, I don't know, I've seen it a bunch of times, but when he's like, I only got Henry on me. Did you guys catch that? When the guy calls him looking for drugs and he says, I only have a Henry on me.
No.
Any ideas what that means?
Heroin.
Nope. Good guess. Henry the Eighth. I only have an eighth on me.
Those British people, man, they're fun with their slang. I really love it.
Yeah.
I love it too, but I don't understand any of it.
It's like, oh yeah, because it rhymes with this, and it's like, all right, but of all the things that picked that rhymes with it, that's what you went with.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Favorite scenes. Who just went last?
I did, so I'll go first.
Please.
My favorite scene was when they're talking about the plan to go save Barbara and how they just keep redoing I guess the dramatization of it. I love stuff like that. I feel like it's a very British thing. Like I could see that happening in every heist movie, or like Ocean's 11 when they're like talking about the plan and then you see it. But I just love how they tweak it slightly. And then each time, it's going faster and faster as they cut through it. And
Yep.
all right, well, that's not going to work because this. So let's do this. That I don't know. For me, that was just kind of on par with like the zombie explanation you got as he's flipping through the channels. It's just like a cool little movie magic trick, and I like that they did it, and I thought they did it well.
Nice. Good choice. Because that was my choice.
Was it really?
Yeah, that's okay.
Fuck.
No, it's all right. I think is it my turn, Robbie? You go
Yeah.
last, right? Okay. I think I'm gonna go with then there's a lot of good scenes. Probably when Z Day happens and Shaun wakes up hungover and walks to the shop and fucking doesn't even realize anything. Robbie mentioned this before. Like doesn't realize anything is even happening. It puts I owe you 15, Nelson. Like, there's blood all over the place. Doesn't even realize.
Slips in it.
Yeah. And actually, maybe I should have done this for my least favorite scene because this leads right into it. When he's opening the can with his fucking teeth,
Oh yeah.
flips me out. But yeah, I think and that was one long shot. Like they didn't,
Yep.
edit that, which I love when they do shots like that. So I'm gonna go
Oh
with
my
that.
God. Long tracking shots give me a nice Woodrow Wilson in my pants, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
I got wood.
Like that and like fucking True
gives you the
Detective.
gives you the 14 points.
Oh my God, please.
Oh, good one.
Love it.
Goes to DC once, got all the president jokes.
This guy puts a little League of Nations in my pants.
Oh my goodness.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know. Favorite scene?
No, what was I saying before that?
Gives you
Tracking
Woodrow
shots
Wilson in your
give you
pants.
bonus.
Oh, I just said like True Detective, that episode, the first
Yes.
season.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So many great scenes, but my favorite scene is the vinyl record scene. As you know, Ryan, and I don't know if any
I'm aware.
I have a new vinyl record player and I bought a ton of vinyls to listen to, not to throw out zombies just yet. But yeah, I loved it when I first saw Mary in the back and they were like, oh, she's so drunk. And then he goes to attack Shaun, and then Ed runs inside and gets the fucking disposable camera to take a picture.
Yeah. And he winds it after
Yeah.
and he knocks it out of his hand.
I love that. And then and I just love when they're just, I know the zombies are walking slow and they're about to get attacked by them, but when they're just going through the vinyls and they're like, was it Purple Rain? No. Sign of the Times? No. Batman soundtrack. Chuck it.
Yeah.
Throw it. Yeah, throw it.
God day.
Yeah, and I mean Sade, please. And yeah, I just love that. I thought that was great. The little things like that I love, like movies that obviously don't take themselves too seriously, even in some like difficult moments in time. And even though they're about to get eaten, they're still arguing about what vinyl records to throw at the zombies. So I thought that was a great touch.
Yeah.
That was the second record I ever bought.
I love it. Any Ani mentions for favorite scenes?
Yeah, I got when David gets his abdomen ripped completely apart.
That's a good one.
I love seeing him fucking go down for the count. He stunk, and yeah, I was happy to see him go. Anybody in this movie that I wanted to see go, it was definitely David because he just fucking was the worst.
Agree. Strong agree.
I'll go
Benny,
with
you got any?
Yeah, my honorable mention is the post breakup drunken night. It was just fun, but between the two of them, the conversation, always a good. I love a good drinking conversation between two English blokes.
Yeah.
So definitely that was the high point of the movie for me.
And
trying to cheer him up, and he's just like broken.
Yeah,
and yeah, that was one of the scenes that made me laugh out loud when they're singing White Lines.
Yeah.
And they stay pause for the zombie or whatever to do his little thing for the song. I was dying laughing for that. And again, oblivious to have no idea that somebody just got their head fucking chewed off and that the guy that was moaning was a zombie. So I thought that was great.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And the Don't Stop Me Now scene. I mean, Queen, great song. I know Ryan didn't like it, but I understood why they were fucking hitting him like that with the so I thought that was great. And it was like, what were they saying? Something about, like you said, kill the queen.
Yes.
But they were talking about the jukebox.
Jukebox, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was great. Yeah, it's a good scene. And then the gun finally working. That Ed told him at the gun it was a real gun.
Big Al told him.
Yeah.
He also said dog couldn't look up.
Yeah.
Oh man. I liked one quick thing that I really love that cracks me up every time is when they first get to Barbara and Phillips and they're like, all right, we should probably go. And like, we're not leaving. Should I call a doctor? And Bill Nye is just like, I ran it under a cold tap.
Yeah.
Just such like just stop it. Everything's fine. Oh my God. A lot of good scenes. I'm sure we could talk about all of them, but let's move on. Is there anything that you guys can think of to make this movie better?
I'd like to see this movie get made a little bit later. And it's hard to say, right? Because like
Right.
if they didn't make this movie, then what would it became? But I would have liked to see this movie with maybe a little bit more polish and a little bit more experience with everybody
Yeah.
involved. Edgar
A little
Wright
better effects.
and yeah, and Simon Pegg. I know that there's a joke about sequel. I
Yeah.
forget the something whatever.
Oh,
But
yeah. Oh, what is it? Something with
Rising,
Shaun at the end.
yeah, the Rise of Shaun or something, or a new Shaun rises or
A new
something. But
Shaun, yeah, something like that.
yeah, um, yeah, I would have liked to see maybe this movie get made a little bit later in their careers, just to see, with more polish on it. Just because to me, I don't know, it felt like it was their like one of their first movies. Um, so yeah, maybe that.
Yeah. I agree. Like I think the only things that bothered me again with the pool cues and like some of the other times, like you could tell that they were, deliberately not hitting the extras, the zombies, because they didn't want to actually hurt them. So maybe it would have been nice to see like with like maybe a little more money or more special effects or something. But yeah, I don't have much. This was a really good, parody slash zombie movie slash comedy slash whatever. I really like it. So I don't have anything specific other than kind of echoing what Benny said. Robbie, you got anything?
I don't. I thought it was, you know, a great movie. Like I said, paced well, uh, shot well, written well. Hour and 40 minutes was just a perfect, you know, perfect time for the movie. So I don't really have anything. I love the characters. Obviously, like you said, a bigger budget would be nice, but other than that, I really don't have a bad thing to say about the movie, or anyways, I think would make it better.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times with movies like this, or one of the other movies in our vote this week was Army of Darkness, or, you know, other scary movies. Sometimes um, I guess for lack of a better way to explain it, the tricks that the directors use to like hide certain lack of special effects like are also kind of what make the movie charming to a certain extent. So like I feel like we're saying like maybe it would be nice or it would be better, but it might lose some of that, the allure that it has to by making it like all polished and everything. So I don't know. But
It is funny though, like, and you guys kind of talked about it already, but like him like clearly hitting people in the shoulder,
yeah, right.
like not even close to their head. But like you said, it's the charm of the movie, like whatever,
Yeah.
you know. But there was a couple times too where I feel like you saw the cricket bat bend when it hit
It
people, because
was a
it's like,
fake bat, yeah.
yeah, obviously, and but it was just so bad at some points. But whatever. I mean, what can you do?
When they run out of Liz's apartment, they all have weapons, but if you watch, only Shaun hits people because that was the fake cricket bat, and the other things were real, like could be real weapons because they weren't padded or
Yeah,
anything. But yeah, so
I read.
like hitting them, like pushing them in the chest. And you're like, what are you doing? Just hit him in the head.
Yeah, I read somewhere too that I forget what movie it was, but they said, "Oh, as an homage to this movie, they paid all the actors one
A
pound."
dollar.
Yeah, because that's like, it's like, was it, or are they just cheap?
Yeah, right. Is
Because
that
like
all
that's
they
what
could
they paid.
afford?
That's what they paid the extras in the movie or whatever they were paying homage to. But it's like you could pay more than a dollar.
Yeah.
Pay them $101 maybe. That could be your homage.
I think there was, I didn't read the everything, but there was like this movie almost didn't get made because of financing. Um Edgar Wright was like borrowing money and stuff like that. Some maybe it was yeah, a little bit of both. Oh no, no,
Yeah.
no. It's an homage to I think it was George Romero, but I'm not sure, but it's an homage to him.
Yeah.
They only got paid a pound, so we'll do the same for you. And
Yeah.
you can also get a sandwich from the
Only half sandwich though.
Yeah, only.
The sequel name was From Dusk Till Shaun.
That's a good one. Yeah,
There you go.
good one.
I think I forget what it was. I think Spider-Man No Way Home
Yeah.
in Times Square. There's a billboard for From Dusk Till Shaun.
Yeah, I think it was Into the Spider-Verse actually.
Okay.
I think, but it might be the one you said, No Way Home or whatever. Either way, I love it. Well, we didn't really have any good answers, but I do have a way to make this movie better. Should we play America's favorite game?
Oh, please, I'm ready for this one.
All right, let's play Overtime featuring Matt Damon.
That might be the name.
Yeah, maybe that's it. So what we do with this game is cast a young, maybe preteen, maybe post-teen, old, whatever. Cast a handsome Matt Damon in either one of the roles or a role we make up. And the reason we do this is we don't know. We're stupid. So
we can't let a joke die.
We can't exactly. We said it once, we thought it was funny, and we're just killing it. Would anyone like to go first?
I'll go first. Give me
Please.
a 20-year-old, sexy, hair parted down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of being at Harvard, he was at Oxford.
Love it.
Oh.
And I'm sorry to do this to you, Liz, but you're gone. And Simon met a young, beautiful Matt Damon, and they fell in gay love.
I love it. In Greece at a rave.
Yes. Yeah. And he's Simon's love interest in this movie. And I think that takes this movie up a whole nother level. You have Matt lashing out at Simon or Shaun, I should say, and breaking up with him in a heated, his Boston, temper got the best of him. They break up, and the story is about them getting back together. And at the end, it's just Shaun and Good Will Hunting together forever.
Love it.
I love it. Robbie, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure. Give me a young, lean, mean, virile, beautiful face, 6-pack abs while doing 8-minute abs. Give me Matt Damon as the virus that causes this apocalypse. All I want to see is, when they had the coronavirus and they had those weird graphics of what the virus looked like. Give me that, but with Matt Damon's face on it. And Matt Damon's the cause of all this. People are making out, and the saliva from the virus is coming from their body to the other body, and you see Matt Damon wiggling his little cute face between people, all in the system and affecting everybody. Yeah, give me Matt Damon, young, talented Mr. Ripley, ripped, looking like a fucking snack. Maybe even, a piece of cheese the way he looks as the virus in this movie. I'd love to see him just floating around the British Isles like a fantastic Mr. Fox.
I'll infect whoever the fuck I want.
You fucking cocksucker. Give me a little bit older, but still sexy, still dimple, just tight Matt Damon as Snake Hips, the man in the bar at the Winchester with the boots and smoking the cig with the long straggly hair that Ed says always has women around him. You do see him dead at the end, but I'd love to see Matt Damon in a bit role as Snake Hips, the hot older man at the Winchester, wasting his life away.
And he walks by and someone says, "Oh my God, that's Jason Bourne."
Benny, did you ever see any of the Bourne movies?
No, I haven't.
I knew it. Robbie?
The first one.
Nice.
They're
all
one.
pretty good. Definitely worth a watch. We should do like a spy week or action week or something.
Maybe this week coming up, we're due for a good Matt Damon movie.
Should we
do Damon week?
Oh, I had whatchamacallit. I had a few had a few choices this week.
Okay.
We can put Damon off.
I think people will. I think you guys will enjoy. If not, you can always just fucking mute my Zoom and tell me to go fuck myself without me knowing.
Please. I mean, hey, listen, my finger's on that button constantly, just ready to go.
Ready to go all day, every day, 24/7.
Do we call it Robbie Week?
Yeah, we do it for the young god.
Yeah.
Oh, please, young. These hips don't lie.
So do we have anything else about Shaun of the Dead that we want to mention?
No, I need more British humor in my life.
Oh, you do. It's the fucking best.
It's
Yeah.
the best.
It's so good. I'm telling you, man. There's so many like good, dry British humors. A recent show we just watched that I think you should watch is called Afterlife with Ricky Gervais. You ever hear of it?
No.
Oh,
I think the artist formerly known as The Wiz watched that. I think.
yeah. But I love
heavy emphasis on formerly known
Yeah,
as.
formerly known as. Please.
But no, there's a ton. Maybe we'll definitely let's do like British Comedy Week coming up, and we'll do a couple of good British comedies.
I want to watch. I keep saying it's only like 6 episodes, but I want to watch the IT Crowd.
Yeah, I actually have never watched that, and I've heard that that's good. We could do that.
I think it's super short.
Nice.
It reminds me, I still got to finish Sherlock.
Yeah, I watched most of that, but I think there's a few episodes I missed.
I think I've only seen the first series.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Heavy on the captions with that show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Captions with
bro.
all shows because I gotta watch them at like a level 6 on the volume because I can't wake the kid up.
Oh, please. I'm blowing everybody's fucking ears out when I'm watching TV.
Fuck you, let the boys watch. What's your name?
Let the boys have a hearing aid.
Yeah. You ever heard of headphones, motherfucker? Yeah, anything else you guys want to mention about Shaun of the Dead, or I don't know, anything else we talked about today?
Glad we watched it. Yeah, glad I checked this one off the list. Like I said, I mean, it really, I don't know how many times I could say it this episode. There's always something I repeat 15 times every episode, but made me want to get more involved in Edgar Wright, get me more involved with Simon Pegg stuff. Simon Pegg's one of those guys that always pops up, in things that are not his projects, and I always enjoy. I mean, even him in the Star Trek trilogy, I enjoyed him in that. So every time he pops up, I enjoy him, and I keep saying I got to watch these movies, Hot Fuzz, all that stuff. So, hopefully this is the thing that kind of spurs me on.
I mean, if the fans had any class and any taste in them, they would have picked Baby Driver twice already. But
you know what though? Maybe this is God's plan, as the kids say. And we got to watch this first, and then we get to see a little bit more mature Edgar Wright. Maybe this one hit as well if I watched Baby Driver first.
Maybe.
You're very diplomatic, but me, not so much.
Are we gonna put Baby Driver up for a vote for a third time?
It's gonna be Baby Driver, or literally Go Fuck Yourself as the third choice.
Yeah.
I think we know what will win.
Yeah, I think so too. People will be making accounts to double vote Go Fuck Yourself.
Yeah, probably.
It'll be our highest
voted
attended poll.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, like you said, speaking of this guy, this dominated.
What was it? It was like 80 something percent. Like
I think it was 81%. Well, I don't want to give away our vote totals. I don't want people to know how popular we are. Sure. But yeah, there was only a handful of votes not for Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, a few of them are a couple of hanging chads, so we had to go back into the voting machine and re-vote,
taking it to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas was not too happy.
I wanted to walk by the Supreme Court when I was in DC and flip it off, but didn't have the time.
Wow.
It's always
next
time.
Did. Yeah,
there's always next time. I mean, they ain't going nowhere.
True. No, because they're appointed for life.
Yeah, I'll be gone before they are.
Yeah,
probably. Well,
a lot of history.
Go ahead.
So a lot of history callbacks this episode.
Yeah, a couple.
14 points, League
Yep.
of Nations, Supreme Court.
Yeah. Let the boys teach.
Please.
I was inspired this weekend. I felt the gravity of being in the nation's cap.
Word in the street was that you were looking to maybe steal a Declaration of Independence, they were saying.
I was gonna do it. They had their eyes on me. They as soon as I walked in, they went like this.
Oh, they knew you were coming.
They knew I tried to make eye or run interference, but
No
I mean,
dice.
listen, we're letting the boys watch. We're letting the boys kind of freeform talk. Declaration of Independence kind of sucks in person.
Yeah,
It's completely
kind of raggedy.
faded out. There's
Yeah.
nothing left of it anymore.
Yeah, it's a waste. It's a waste of paper.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's eroding just like our democracy.
pretty much. When that thing disappears, it's going to be like fucking Marty McFly. When that thing finally disappears, we're all gone.
Wait, do you think that it's actually magic, and when it does finally erode completely, that the democracy will completely crumble?
King
think
George
so.
just fucking pops back up.
Maybe.
As hopefully as Jonathan Groff.
Yeah.
Spits all over us.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be back. Then
I-
we'll see.
Do you think that those are really it's really the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution that's in the museum?
Probably.
I don't think so.
They have a couple copies.
Yeah, I guess. But it just seems like, why would you? I know it's, me and I had this debate. Like, you put it in, obviously, that like heavy bulletproof glass or whatever they
Double
use. But
pane
just,
soundproof glass.
yeah, filled with argon gas. I don't know. It just feels like a little too important to just be out there for the public. But I guess it's the people's document. So
If Nicolas Cage is on the other coast, then they're
it's
safe.
safe.
But if he's on the
Yeah.
East Coast, they put it away.
Well, that was the first when I said it to Aya the first time. Maybe we got to put National Treasure on here because I haven't seen that.
Oh my
But-
God.
Yeah.
What a
But,
film. What a film.
The first thing I said was, "Do you really think it's a document?" She said, "Well, no, Nicolas Cage has it." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here."
You really did good when you married her.
Yeah.
I did.
That's a good
I
one.
did.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for listening this long. And we appreciate your support. Please, again, send us emails, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. And follow us on Instagram. We talked about voting. Please vote. Let your voice be heard in what movies we're going to watch next. Sounds like we got a Robbie week coming up, maybe. I'm excited to see what he's got in store for us. But yeah, follow us there. Everything's in the show notes. Just click on it. Brings you right there. That's it. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night to the Winchester.
Diane, call me.
I got wood.